Today we're fitting brakes to the Civic Type R in preparation for our ring trip and our Spa track day. Now, before this goes any further, these brakes are absolutely ruined. I'm 99% sure I'm down to metal on metal. I've just left it way too long to get them changed, so the track day was a perfect excuse to get some brakes and, well, get an upgrade. Oh no, to be fair, look, there's another few thousand mile on them. As usual with any 10-minute job, we've got a disc retaining bolt that somebody's rounded off in the past, so this is going to be my Saturday now. Victory is mine. Yeah, I've had my money's worth out of them. Right, so new discs grooved. As I said before, obviously they've got what appears to be a direction on them, but as far as I'm concerned, this doesn't matter because the flutes inside the disc aren't directional. As a rule of thumb, I always get them so that they're chopping into the direction that you're going. But I bet there's a million people, that know better than me on forums. So tell me down below if you think you know better. Quite surprised that the PBS pads don't come with new metal slides, but I suppose they're designed for motorsport use, aren't they? So. So I've had a bit of an issue, particularly on this side, with the coilover coming loose at the bottom, where it screws into the hub. Where it screws into the body of the coilover. So the collar keeps coming undone, and obviously then I'm getting wheel wobble. Lee Rickard, that races in the Civic Cup, initially pointed out to me at the ring last year. I let him borrow the car, and he came back and went, "You need to have a look at this." So apparently it's a really common thing on a lot of coilover kits for the EP3. You've just got to really tighten up that bottom collar. So I've used a punch and a hammer and just knocked it in as far as I can at the minute. So it's just something to keep an eye on, really. Right, so the front's done. Move on to the back now. I'm going to put this on time lapse because it's going to take me an embarrassingly long time.
go, let's go.
Right, welcome back. The weather's better now, so it got dark last time, so we stopped. But the car's all back together now. We've test driven it. It drives fantastically. I'm dead excited to get this out on track now. So anyway, here's the car. I said we'd walk around it. 2004 facelift EP3 Type R. It's quite a rough and ready Civic. It's a high mileage. Well, not as high as some, but 155,000. I didn't want to build. I didn't want to turn this into a track car if it was a really nice example. I used to have a really nice red one, facelift, 70,000 miles, it was beautiful, but I was just worried about it all the time. I didn't want to park it anywhere, I didn't want to abuse it. Whereas I wanted something this time that I can enjoy a bit more for what I wanted to do, which is track use and, well, fast road, but track use mainly. So, legendary K20 engine. Obviously we've done the chain, it's dead reliable engine-wise. Tegua carbon intake. This is the engine wise were fairly standard. I wasn't going to spend the money on a group amp. And polybush mounts, engine mounts, strut brace. I've done mainly handling mods to this and the setup and stuff because, to me, I didn't want to spend loads of money getting another 20 horsepower out of it when there's far more room in me as a driver for track. So this year and probably into next year, I'd like to get it mapped. Obviously change the ECU, get it mapped. I've got an ECU ready for it, but I personally think there's more room in practicing and just getting better myself than there is just bolting power in. But we've done 421 manifold into a Tegua 70mm. I'm just hoping it's quiet enough for track because it is quite asper. I'll put a video in a minute of the sound of that. HSD Pro coilovers all round. I bought them new from Neil at BIB. Yeah, probably shouldn't have done that, but everyone says yellow speeds for these, but I quite like the HSDs. I've had them on cars in the past. Carbon wings from my mate Ben. They are 25mm wider, I think, than standard. So the front wheels look lost in the arches, but it had the handling setup of this car is fantastic, so I didn't want to throw spacers on and ruin that. But I also like the look of the arches, so there we go. The car needs a wash, so just excuse the mess. The birds have been at it overnight. Inside, I've put my Sparco seats in that I got from Ollie Danker Time Attack M3, if you know who that is. Yeah, carbon back WG Motorsport seats from Sparco. Just because I was trying to get the weight down of the car a little bit, and I like the feel of bucket seats. Not that it makes much of a difference. In the back, like everybody that thinks they're in a quick car, I've took everything out. So I've just ripped the interior out, but I've left all the plastics in because really they don't weigh a lot anyway. X-brace, I don't really know how much it's doing, to be honest, because these cars are pretty stiff at the back standard, and obviously the bottom bar's doing main. This is just extra weight, but I quite like it and it looks good. So there we are. Right, so there we are. Keep a track on the videos now because we've got Spa in Germany trip coming up. We've got the Scamp do coming up. I'm going to do some more on the Evo. I'm going to make a big video about that soon. And yeah, stay tuned to find out if this makes it to Germany and Belgium and back.